High-tech i hard metal estetika novog dijela linije Jubilee londonske podzemne željeznice uvjerljiva je metafora strelovitog britanskog uspona koji obilježava 90. Izbor komunalnog projekta nije slučajan. Od vodećih domaćih i stranih arhitekata zahtijevalo se da futurističkim izgledom, koji treba nadmašiti puku funkcionalnost svakodnevnog prostora, javnosti projiciraju ponovno uskrsnulu ambiciju i vjeru u vodeću poziciju britanske nacije. Tako je, na primjer, impresivna unutrašnjost postaje Canary Wharf, djelo Normana Fostera, jednog od najvećih arhitekata današnjice. Uz mnoge tehničke probleme, ovaj 2,76 bilijuna funti težak projekt završen je na vrijeme za milenijsku svečanost. London je grad u koji je najviše ulagano za vrijeme planetarne obsesije završetkom milenija. Osvajanje budućnosti, njeno fiksiranje u sadašnjosti, doima se osnovnim ciljem. Strategija kolonizacije vremena radi osiguranja budućnosti nacije zasnovana je na poticanju stvaralaštva. Pritom se ne zaustavlja na njegovoj anticipacijskoj potenciji, već se vizije aktivno provode. Jubilee Line povezuje središte Londona s onim dijelovima koji bi trebali postati najželjenijim odredištima. Tate Modern, milenijski kotač, milenijska kupola. Te građevine simboliziraju nanovo ostvaren napredak i smještaju London u središte svijeta, što nije doživio od vremena Britanske imperije. Megalopolis se trijumfalno vratio mjestu svog nastanka, obalama rijeke Temze. Dosadnim i preeksponiranim vizurama parlamenta, Big Bena, Towera, Tower Bridgea, u samo nekoliko godina dodane su nove građevine, amblematske dvernice u treći milenij. Njihova funkcija muzeja i utopijskog spoja obrazovanja kroz zabavu odražava kako se Velika Britanija danas doživljava. Doba teške industrije je završeno. Zora je razdoblja kreativne industrije i neprekidnog obrazovanja. Ove ideje u Velikoj Britaniji duboko su prožele i one u ostatku svijeta sklerozi sklone institucije društva koje se skrbe o umjetničkoj produkciji. Jedna od vodećih institucija je Arts Council.
Up till about 1980, Britain was a heavily industrialized society. The majority of employment was in manufacturing industry and heavy industries such as steel making, coal, shipbuilding, cars, that sort of thing. That's changing. The traditional industries are in decline. That decline has particularly been marked in the north and the Midlands of the country. And they're being replaced by service sector industries, by things like finance, banking, but also things like entertainment and arts-based industries.
Prema podacima s kraja godine 1998. djelatnosti ujedinjene pod sintagmom kreativna industrija, što podrazumijeva glazbu, software, kazalište, film, radio i TV produkciju, dizajn, arhitekturu, modu i primijenjene umjetnosti, donose godišnje 60 bilijuna funti prihoda, zapošljavaju 1,4 milijuna ljudi, a na svjetskom tržištu kulture Velika Britanija je prisutnija 3 puta više u usporedbi s njezinim udjelom u tradicionalnoj svjetskoj trgovinskoj razmjeni.
The cultural policy in Britain has changed quite significantly over the last few years. Since the change of government in 1997, when a Labour government was elected, they have sought to put arts and cultural policy at the heart of government thinking. The reason for this, I think, is that government now sees the arts as being crucial to delivering on a number of their key priorities, certainly around issues in employment and education. What happened was that a number of academics and people working in the arts themselves began to realise that, in fact, investing in the arts through the public purse, from public money, produced spin-offs that weren't being measured. So not just things like, for example, the number of people who attend a concert or go to see a theatre performance, but also what happens when they go to those theatre performances. The fact that they might, for example, go for a meal beforehand or go for some drinks afterwards, or perhaps spend a day in a town before going to the theatre there.
Tradicija britanske demokracije pretpostavlja, ako ne suprotstavljena, a tada bar suzdržana mišljenja. Ispred Tatea, donedavno kultnog prostora moderne umjetnosti, Svoje viđenje o tome kako se sadašnja politička vlast koristi umjetnošću iznio je nezavisni likovni kritičar Christopher Townsend.
We have to be careful about the idea of having a culture industry. I think Adorno would have said that the two terms are incompatible. And in many ways, it's seen as a way of branding Britain, of branding the country and marketing what Britain does, and indeed, in political terms, what New Labour does. So that the art gets used as a marketing tool within that overall strategy of a cultural industry, rather than being discussed in terms as art. And I'm not sure that it's a strategy that the artists themselves, who are increasingly critical of government policy, particularly in terms of arts funding, are altogether happy with.
Da je raspodjela novca uvijek problematičan trenutak, podsjetila nas je Heather Galbraith, mlada kustosica Camden Arts Centra.
When I was reading some materials prior to this visit, what strikes me is this idea of creative industry. It is understood finally that art is actually bringing in the cash.
Yeah, I think this is the case, although it's very selective, because in a lot of senses they're only kind of talking about artists whose work sells for lots and lots of money or who get kind of international recognition. There's still the problem of people who are developing their practice or whose maybe practice isn't particularly saleable. And there's still a problem with supporting those artists whose work isn't necessarily object-based or who need an enormous amount of support for research and development stages of their work. I still think there is a problem within kind of cultural funding and policy support that those artists aren't necessarily getting the credit or the support that they deserve.
Kulturna politika u praksi najčešće podrazumiva ključ prema kojem društvo izdvaja novac za predložene programe. Promišljanje praktične uloge kulture u Britaniji ima dugu povijest. Od 30. godina ovog stoljeća pa sve do 90. na nju se gledalo samo kao na moćno sredstvo promidžbe. Upravo tada osnovan je British Council, jedna od krovnih i planetarno prisutnih institucija kulturne promidžbe Velike Britanije.
In the 30s, really, they saw, actually, that was the time that the Goethe Institute was set up in Germany. And they found that, the Goethe Institute was being used as a very effective propaganda weapon to win the German case about culture and supremacy. And they really learned from this example that, that you could use culture and politics to walk hand in hand, that public diplomacy and political diplomacy really did work very, very much in common, cultural diplomacy. So it became a cultural diplomacy institution in the 30s. And that has been found to be a very effective way of winning influence abroad. And that's really what it was designed to do.
Danas većina zemalja u svijetu ima institucije za promociju svoje kulture, ali za razliku od srodnih institucija, rad British Councila odlikuje to što u njegovim odjelima rade stručnjaci za odgovarajuća područja.
Everybody in the visual arts department of the British Council is not a career diplomat, but a fine art historian or a curator who's come in from the outside world. And I think that this gives us much more credibility within the arts constituency, both in the UK and abroad. And it gives us some integrity and independence, that's what we're known for, in our judgments about artists.
Iako odjeli za umjetnosti dobivaju samo dijelić proračuna, učinak njihova rada diljem svijeta vrlo je velik. Prisjetimo se izložbi kao što su Dimensions Variable, Cecil Beaton ili Anthony Gormley, koje smo imali prilike vidjeti u Hrvatskoj.
And the Visual Arts Department is responsible really for not only organising, we're an exhibition organising and producing department. We produce 60 exhibitions a year. And as well as that, though, we are the official body that organises and selects the British artists for selection for major biennales, such as the Venice Biennale.
Osnova izložbi Britanskog kancela njegova je bogata zbirka umjetnina. Prikupljena je tako da uz što manji utrošak sredstava daje što veću korist.
Since the 1930s, we have been collecting works from living artists. We represent only the 20th century, and these have formed the basis of our collection, which is now 7,000 works, including 5,000 graphic works. So we use these works in exhibitions that we tour internationally, and when those exhibitions are finished touring, they become part of the decoration of offices in the 108 countries abroad.
U istoj zgradi u kojoj je smješten vizualni odjel British Councila nalazi se institucija Visiting Arts. Njena je svrha komplementarna ulozi Councila. Osnovan 1977. godine, Visiting Arts demonstrira zanimanje za ono što se događa izvan Britanije.
And Visiting Arts was set up as a result, as a response to that, to enable artists, to enable exhibitions, productions to come into the UK. And it was set up with funding from the Foreign Office, the British Council, the Arts Council of Great Britain, as it was then, the Crafts Council, and the Gulbenkian Foundation, who gave us seed funding for 3 years. And in many ways it was very visionary, because at that time there was very little work being shown in the UK from countries all over the world.
Djelovanje Visiting Artsa ima dvostruk učinak. Stranom umjetniku koji se predstavlja u Velikoj Britaniji pomaže se tako što se financira domaća institucija koja ga je pozvala.
You can't just give out money to artists because, you know, it doesn't actually have a particular positive effect on the scene here. So, although many people contact us direct, artists and companies from all over the world, they contact us direct, we can advise them, we can, on the basis of the work they do, we can put them in touch with the right sort of galleries, the right sort of venues. But it's on the basis that they can actually identify a partner or a host organisation here in the UK that will program their work, that will work with that particular artist. And if that is confirmed and that is due to go ahead, then the host organisation here in Britain, the British promoter, can then apply to us for funding.
Osim pojedinačnih događaja, Visiting Arts potaknuo je velike i priznate manifestacije, poput London International Festival of Theatre LIFT ili Dance Umbrella. Međutim, najvažnija je njegova uloga u razvoju međunarodne kulturne scene u Velikoj Britaniji. Razlozi tog pothvata sasvim su pragmatični.
Through a kind of strategic belief and policy in promoting foreign arts in this country, there has been a growing interest and experience in working and presenting foreign work, and that clearly has enabled people to have a confidence and a sort of global outlook, which with new technologies, with the internet and with everything that has become even easier, and with people being able to travel, I think has given Britain a particular opportunity to really be seen as a centre of you know, arts activity.
Kako to izgleda u praksi, objasnio nam je Philippe Lemoine, voditelj avangardnog Gate teatra smještenog na slikovitom Notting Hillu, u kojem su u nekoliko navrata gostovala srodna kazališta iz Hrvatske.
For 1 month after this show in the summer, we have a festival called East Goes West, who brings companies from Eastern Europe to London. And last year we had one Croatian company, Teatar Exit, from Zagreb, who came. And in that case, Visiting Arts gave us support and helped us financially to receive these companies. But that's only when the company is coming and not when the text is coming.
Predstavljanje međunarodne umjetnosti koju je Visiting Arts potaknuo postala je prava moda među kulturnim institucijama i uvelike nadmašio mogućnosti njihova proračuna. Organizatori se često moraju sami snalaziti.
There is not a huge tradition in Great Britain of the state supporting the arts. I think England is a very liberal country, and there's always been a take that the state should not interfere in the arts too much. And actually they still don't have a proper Ministry of Culture. There is people who are in charge of culture, but it's not such a thing as a ministry. It's not such a thing as a national policy for theatre. There is 10 times less money in London than there is in Paris or in Berlin for theatre.
'90. godine obilježava inauguracija Nacionalne lutrije, kao važnog izvora sredstava za, kako ih nazivaju, 6 dobrih razloga. Sport, dobročinstva, umjetnost, nasljeđe, projekte za 3. tisućljeće, te obrazovanje, zdravstvo i okoliš. Sredstva prikupljena do svibnja godine 1997. iznosila su 7,5 bilijuna funti, a za njihovo korištenje raspisuje se javni natječaj.
We are currently in the process of applying for a capital grant, which means that we'll be able to refurbish our building. So at the moment we're waiting to hear what's called Stage 2. Our Stage 2 application is being assessed. And should that be successful, then we can start appointing architects. So we're very aware that we need to make our building much more functional and enable us to do more exciting projects.
National lottery money at the moment, although it's changing, was geared towards building expenses. So if you want to build a new theatre, you ask for lottery money. But if you want to make a production, you cannot ask for lottery money because it is linked with a project that includes redevelopment of the theatre.
Dio sredstava koji se prikuplja lutrijom izdvaja se za film. To je relativno novi koncept koji se primjenjuje ovdje tek nekakvih 2 godine. Međutim, unutar te 2 godine iz sredstava lutrije na film je potrošeno nekakvih 160 milijuna funti. To je dakle više od 450 milijuna maraka. To je dovelo do u izvjesnom smislu hiperprodukcije britanskih filmova, tako da se jako puno filmova snima.
On one level it has been a fantastic innovation there, and it's not simply for the arts. It has created a whole new source of funding for a vast array of different projects in Britain. We have been able to achieve in record time, probably in the last 5 years, a real transformation of buildings in the public sphere. My concern is that we have magnificent galleries, magnificent concert halls, magnificent museums, and because of the nature of funding, we're unable to put much that is valid into them.
Korištenje sredstava lutrije općenito se smatra pozitivnim pomakom. Pojavila su se i mišljenja da bi ona trebala biti osnovni, čak jedini izvor financiranja umjetnosti.
The danger is that if we then switch to taking our arts funding totally or in larger part from the lottery, that's not ever going to be a fixed sum. It's not something you can say this comes out of a tax sum that we can predict. Like the lottery is something that people may choose or may choose not to buy, and as a result it's not a predictable source of funding.
Unatoč složenom modelu financiranja, ustaljena praksa jest da se nakon što postignu uspjeh, projekti prepuste tržišnoj provjeri. Jedan od načina preživljavanja jest oslanjanje na lokalnu zajednicu i njenu težnju da unutar megalopolisa stvori svoj identitet. Paradigmatska je revitalizacija četvrti Docklands i Greenwich Village, gdje se smatralo da kultura može imati veliku ulogu u pozitivnom razvoju projekta. Bradley Hemmings, direktor internacionalnog festivala, objasnio nam je svoju financijsku strategiju.
We started off, as I say, with this probably, £500,000 a year from Greenwich Council when they were running the festival, and then we moved to an independent company that became £50,000 in year one. So a big change in the public sector support. But what we've been able to do is make a really good case, I think, to the private sector about the role of this festival in actually working with people, with communities in East London. So, for example, the Woolwich, which is a major bank which takes its name from this part of the world, has been a principal sponsor of ours for a number of years. We also bring in funding and sponsorship from other agencies, from property development companies, from the London City Airport, for example, from the University of Greenwich. Higher education institutions are major employers and big business in this area. So that kind of partnership with the private sector is terribly important to us.
Festival je započeo kao lokalni događaj, ali je uprava shvatila da zatvaranje u vlastite okvire građanima neće donijeti ništa. Priključili su se projektu Priobalni gradovi, koji ih je smjestio na svjetsku pozornicu. Shvaćanje da je ideja globalnog ključ uspjeha presudno je za britansku umjetnost 90-ih i njen planetarni trijumf. Sve to uistinu je značilo tek uviđanje činjenica i donošenje ispravnih zaključaka. London je izrastao u najkozmopolitskiji grad svijeta. Od njegovih približno 8 milijuna stanovnika, više od 1 milijun rođen je izvan Velike Britanije, a u njemu se govore 193 jezika. Razlike se ovdje, a posebice na umjetničkom polju, poštuju i smatraju ne samo poželjnim, nego i veoma unosnim. Time su se najprije okoristile glazbena i filmska industrija, a njihov komercijalni uspjeh otvorio je put globalnom i za, po svojoj prirodi zatvorenije, vizualne umjetnosti.
It's been happening for a while. That people have been coming to London from all over the world, but particularly from places where England has had a colonial kind of intervention or history. But now it's no longer such a tokenist kind of presence. So in a sense, I think it's becoming less about the other and more about it exists within a complex cultural situation here now. It's something about the present rather than always looking at the past, which is what I think Yinka Shonibare is very interested in, historical images, but what he's actually talking about is very much about Britain now and London now, because London is the most kind of cosmopolitan city within this country, although that's probably a highly dubious thing to say. But it is, I mean, in relation to kind of cultural and ethnic and racial mix, it is a place which is so incredibly diverse.
Yinka Shonibare rođen je u Londonu godine 1962. a odrastao je u Lagosu, Nigeriji, zemlji svojih predaka. Njegova izložba govori o temama britanstva i afrikanstva, kolonijalizma i postkolonijalizma, pitanjima klase, povijesti, dizajna i zanatske vještine. U prestižnom Camden Arts centru razlogom svog postojanja smatraju upravo izlaganja umjetnosti koja se bavi složenošću suvremenog kulturnog iskustva.
What we're really interested in trying to do is to support process and to support the actual activity of making art, and that's why we have like the artists on-site residency programs, and also try to support artists on quite a long-term basis prior to the realization of an exhibition. We don't necessarily have enormous amounts of money to be able to support both research and production, but hopefully we're kind of there for the artists and what they're trying to do. But also we want to try and show people that haven't had big shows in London before, either they're from outside of England or have working in England. We don't have any sort of strict philosophy about where people need to come for, that we only show British art or we only show international art. I mean, those kind of definitions are perhaps not so interesting anymore.
Još 70. godina predstavljanje inozemne umjetnosti ili domaće produkcije nadahnute etničkom pripadnošću svodilo se tek na egzotiku. Danas ova umjetnost gotovo preplavljuje najuglednije galerije. Serpentine Gallery smještena je u srcu Kensingtonskih parkova te ujedinjuje dvije velike britanske ljubavi, onu prema prirodi s onom prema umjetnosti. Njena neovisna, suvremenom okrenuta kuratorska politika napravila je od nje prostor u kojem već etablirani umjetnici ulaze u krug uistinu najuspješnijih. U vrijeme našeg boravka izlagali su karizmatičnog i već pokojnog kubanskog umjetnika Felixa Gonzalesa Torresa. Njegova umjetnost složen je spoj konceptualne umjetnosti i camp senzibiliteta, suptilne estetike i outsiderske političke pozicije u koje se prelamaju problemi homoseksualnog i imigrantskog života. U sjeverozapadnom dijelu Londona smještena je galerija Lisson. Jedna je od privatnih galerija koje omogućuju ravnopravne šanse mladim i etabliranim umjetnicima. Poznati su kao ekskluzivni galeristi više kipara vrhunske međunarodne reputacije. Jedan od njih je i slavni Anish Kapoor, kipar indijskog porijekla. Druga polovina 90. godina velika je razdjelnica u bogatom umjetničkom životu Londona. Privikavanje na različitosti koje je donijela otvorenost prema međunarodnoj sceni pomoglo je boljoj percepciji radikalne prakse domaćih britanskih umjetnika. Dogodila se mlada britanska umjetnost. Iako uvijek važan do njihove pojave, London nikad nije bio likovna prijestolnica svijeta.
And at the moment I know that having travelled a little bit in the middle, in Eastern Europe recently, there has been a lot of comment about the fact that, okay, the YBA movement is great and everyone's looking at Britain and everyone's looking at London because of what's coming out of that.
Uvriježilo se mišljenje da je proboj nove umjetnosti, kako je još nazivaju, povezan s dolaskom laburista na vlast 1997. No mnogi su mišljenja da je za kulturu tvrda politika tačerizma oslobodila kreativnost. Ako i nije bilo novca, svako se osjećao slobodan raditi što god hoće.
The feeling that Britain had somehow, particularly through most the late 80s and well into the 90s, had somehow become very tired, very stale, that there was an impulse, if you like, for a new modernity. And the same vigour that had kind of fueled the reconfiguration of the Labour Party was then put to work on Britain as if to say, actually, we are a world leader. We are, if you like, we are a world leader in industry, we're a world economic power, and we have this magnificent culture to go with it.
Prije potpore društvenih institucija, na začetak mlade umjetnosti utjecala je pojava karizmatskog reklamnog mogula Charlesa Saatchia.
And I think without him, certainly the movement would have had neither the longevity nor the success that it has had. I think where there is a problem, it is in many ways that the art market in Britain for contemporary art is grossly underdeveloped, certainly by comparison to the United States or Germany or Switzerland. Saatchi is one of very, very few collectors of any stature. So he acts as kind of very much a fulcrum in the art market. But he has, for example, with Damien Hirst, a particular strategy that's worth thinking about. When Hirst had his first American show at Gagosian in 1996, Saatchi bought one of the works there, the most expensive work in the show, on the opening night in New York. But the fact that he was there buying the work in New York was immediately something, if you like, pour encourager les autres, that American buyers could be seen, if you like, seen to buy with confidence because Saatchi was still buying at these prices.
Sami umjetnici u potpunosti su izmijenili svoje gledanje na umjetnost, svoje shvaćanje, što bi umjetnik trebao biti i kakvim načinom života živjeti.
The last 10 years, British artists have realized, in a way I think that American artists had realized in the 80s and earlier, that by developing particular personal skills, by actively going out and selling themselves, making people aware of their work and what they did, they could actually have successful careers and achieve a public prominence that was largely unheard of in British art prior to the 90s.
Druga presudna činjenica bilo je uspostavljanje Turnerove nagrade. Od godine 1984. Tate galerija dodjeljuje umjetniku koji je dostigao zrelost. Ideja se s vremenom promijenila i nagrada je u suradnji s TV kućom Channel 4 učinila mnogo na popularizaciji mlade britanske umjetnosti.
There is a much slicker marketing campaign around it. It becomes something that, again, contributes to this sense of a real vibrancy and urgency and a continuous creativity in British art. It's one of those things in a way, the visual arts are being made into something as it is in a way represented in a way something as exciting as pop music was in the 1960s in Britain. There are two problems that then come out of that. One is that if we start to treat artists like pop stars, and in particular like members of boy bands deciding to appeal to teenage girls, what happens to an artist when he's 30? Do artists have careers anymore, or are they simply, as soon as they go out of fashion, dead in the water and in need of trying to find something else to do. And what happens to the artists whose work may be very, very good, very, very strong as art, but who as personalities are not particularly promotable or marketable or palatable even. And I think there's a real danger there that artists who are perceived as somehow sexy, telegenic, photogenic will be successful regardless of the work they make.
Tate galerija proslavila je 100-godišnjicu svog djelovanja. Njena zgrada postala je premalena za zbirku koja je prikupljena, a poseban problem su tehnički zahtjevna i dimenzijama velika dijela suvremenog umjetničkog stvaralaštva. Stoga je odlučeno da se na južnoj obali Temze sagradi novi Tate, posvećen uzbudljivoj umjetnosti 20. stoljeća. Zašto je novi Tate jedini projekt izgrađen za milenijsku proslavu koji je nadmašio očekivanja? Koja je sudbina milenijske kupole? Gdje se stvara novo umjetničko središte Londona? To su samo neka od pitanja koje obrađuje sljedeći nastavak kulturnih putopisa po Londonu.